Why, hello and welcome to the next video you're about to see on the personal channel. We're going to be looking at my pretty small and yet still pretty in-depth look at my comic books and also basically anything that's illustrated. So this is actually going to be in three parts. It's going to be comics, and then manga, and then illustrated stuff. I feel like that's just the better way to do this. Now, I actually already tried showing you my comic books, but like all the videos that happened then, I sort of didn't know how the microphone worked. So I'm going to show you right now the only clip I feel is worth salvaging from that video. Start. Ooh, that is exciting. Right, now that you've seen that, let's go underway. You'll just have to give me a second here. Alright, so first things first, we have Digimon. This is the Dark Horse imprint. Why do I have that? Because I thought it would be funny to have that. Then we have the complete works of Filler Bunny. This is Joan Vasquez's, kick me written in what is poop. I'm absolutely certain that's poop. Filler Bunny was the filler content that John Vasquez would use for stuff like Squee and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. And we'll get to those. And Filler Bunny was just apparently good enough that he just kind of either spun off onto his own thing, or Jonah thought it was worth collecting everything, which, hey, I read them. They're really not bad. We have this Hellboy, which is Seed of Destruction. This is when they were like doing these really thin volumes for like just all the comics. And I only made it as far as 2. I basically forgot to buy any after Wake the Devil. Which is a shame, because actually, I like Wake the Devil a lot more than Seed of Destruction. We have Invader Zim Volume 1. I really like these comics. If you've ever seen me talk about them on social media, you'll know that half as a joke, mostly as the truth. I like these a lot better than the show. Not that I disrespect the show or anything. The show's really good. And the Netflix movie that came out a few years ago, that's phenomenal. But I do really love the comics. And I hear that they just ended after the 10th volume, which I'm actually fine with, because 10 volumes is like a really nice number to end on. Now we have Volume 3. Yes, I skipped 2. They're episodic, so I wasn't really missing anything, thankfully. It's nice to buy comics out of order and not be lost. You get what I'm saying? Volume 6, where they did start doing serialized stuff, but hey, it's within a volume, so that's not bad either. And then we have Volume 7. So yes, I was going to say the numbers I'm missing, but it's actually hard to remember thanks to how out of order I am. This is the director's cut for Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. This is my favorite comic of all time, and I would love to open it up so you could see it. I would get taken down immediately. That stuff is way, way gruesome. We have the first volume of Kick-Ass, which, just like Johnny, I ain't showing this to you. This is probably close enough with what I can get away with showing you. Mark Millar or Miller, I think it might be Millar, although I definitely usually just say Miller. He's definitely a contentious guy. He can make some, I meant divisive, not contentious, because the guy gave us Superman Red Sun, and he gave us Kick-Ass, and he also gave us Kick-Ass 3, which isn't very good. It's not horrible, but it's not very good. It's good. See, I can't even decide myself. But he also gave us the Unfunnies. So, then we have Kick-Ass 2, Prelude, Hit Girl. Fortunately, I could only find a copy that was the movie poster, and I despised that movie. We have Kick-Ass 2, way better than the movie. This is definitely where the division really got strong, but, it's so much better put together than the movie. And I can say that at the very least. I actually do like the comic, but I get anybody who doesn't. I really do. And then Kick-Ass 3 has some really good moments. Also has the worst moments in the series, aside from the entire second movie. Lost Trail. This is based off of Lost on a Mountain in Maine, which, if you're a millennial like me and grew up in Maine like I did, you definitely read that book for assigned reading. I actually reread it when I found my old copy, and that book's really good. Unfortunately, Don Fenler was one of the, 8,000 celebrities who passed away in 2016. So I definitely really recommend checking out the original book. But that comic is really good too. I found myself thoroughly enjoying it. And we have a couple of Mad magazines, 100 Dumbest People, Events, and Things of the Century so far. Mad Magazine, the best of the worst. And Mad Spoofs the 90s. There'll be some other Mad magazines you see later, because those are single issues. Those are collected works, so I keep them with the regular comics. They're a little bit too big, a little too tall, but their binding is really good to keep with the regular comics. So, okay. Ooh. I actually made myself very happy. Here's the complete collection, Volume 1 for Marvel Zombies, which is the best of Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies is really good. They definitely dropped the ball in later releases, but boy, Volume 1 is just so good. I can tell you, if you're interested, buy Volume 1. I mean, if it's still available. I know how Marvel works sometimes with just dropping volume issues pretty quickly, unfortunately. But definitely if you can get Collection 1, get Collection 1. And that's kind of all you need to read. But if you are curious, there are good things about Volume 2 as well. And there's some stuff near the end of Volume 3 that I found really worked well. But the first half of Volume 3 is definitely like, oh, you ran out of ideas a while ago and you're just kind of telling me that. Even more so. Miss Marvel. As I hinted with the Zim stuff, I'm just not super into mainstream comics because there's just too much stuff that they want me to read that I'm just not going to read, and so I'm lost in the story when it really shouldn't matter that much. I'm all for the universes connecting, it's just not when it's like necessary reading, when you will get lost just reading like Miss Marvel. But, because yeah, as you see, I made it to Volume 2 as well. And we got Volume 3. And I don't want to say Volume 4 is where I called it quits, because I still really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just Volume 4, I mean, Volumes 2 and 3 had this too. Basically, once Wolverine showed up, and they were like, oh yeah, Wolverine! As you know, during your adventures that you're doing, instead of just explaining it more, they literally just had a text bubble that was like, read this. It's like, I don't want to read that. I'm not rich. I have very finite resources. I can't read every single comic. Just so I can understand what Wolverine is doing in this Miss Marvel story. Hey everybody, you want to get your heart broken real quick, possibly? Nimona! That movie Blue Sky was going to do. And now Blue Sky's been shut down. Although I have heard a rumor that another studio may have bought the movie. And apparently the movie is also very close to being finished, so that rumor is more easy to believe than you might think. So hey, if it ever does come out and gets finished, I'll still consider it a Blue Sky movie in spirit. But also, I really loved Nimona. And Blue Sky, from what I understand, the only licensed movie I saw of theirs was the Peanuts movie. I never got around to Horton, but I hear that they respected the late creator's wishes so much, and his surviving family's wishes so much with Horton. That's how Peanuts ended up having their rights given to Blue Sky, was just through word of mouth that Blue Sky really listens to your wishes and really works with you. So the fact that they would have had a very faithful Nimona adaptation really hurts, but maybe one day we'll see it. Alright. Punisher Max. Now here we go. The Max imprint is more adult stuff from Marvel. Not like adult, but like blood and guts and swearing. And yeah, that makes Punisher the right fit for it. I mean, like, I hear the Fool Killer stuff isn't great. But boy, the Punisher stuff sure is. I love it. And, yeah. So, for those of you keeping track at home, we're at 4 now, and ooh, I think I just heard the glue. That's wonderful to hear the glue rip a little bit. Oh, in issues that you can't buy anymore. Yeah, they made 7, I got to 5, and then they were like, sorry man, 6 and 7 are super ultra rare now. And it's like, cool, you mean the volumes that I hear have the worst stuff? It's not going to be the stuff that's going to be the most expensive? Oh, life is wonderful. But yeah, I really wish that they had stayed in print longer. Let's see if I can move these a little bit more, because I'm not done yet. Here's the best boys. This is Sam and Max Surfing the Highway. This is every comic strip with the original creator, Steve Purcell, who works at Pixar now. Well, not now. He's been working since before Brave, unfortunately. Well, the Brave part is the unfortunate part, not Purcell having a most likely very fulfilling career. But I love Sam and Max so much. And I don't think you can get that in print anymore, because I think the original Telltale games actually helped with that reissue, so that's gone now. But if you can find a copy in any way, well, in a legal way, don't steal it, check them out. It's a great little volume collection. Spider-Man Noir, a thing I was so excited for that when I finally read it, didn't think it was that good. Definitely has some moments, but it's not that good. I definitely prefer what they did with Spider-Man Noir Into the Spider-Verse, but I think comic books in general should be jealous of Into the Spider-Verse, so... Here we have Spy vs. Spy. This is the complete case book. Not everything they've ever been in, just everything that the original creator, Antonio Frobas... Frobas? I can't pronounce that. Maybe I'll type it into Google. Actually, I probably won't. Now, there is another volume set for Spy vs. Spy. This is the Joke and Dagger files. With all these people. J.J. Abrams. I forgot he was involved in this. I don't like these as much as the original ones by Prohas. I'm just going to say it's that. It probably isn't. This stuff is bloodier and like grosser, but it's still definitely enjoyable in its own way. I said I'd get to him, and here's our boy Squee. I like Johnny a lot more. I like this more than Filler Bunny. And I think the Zim comics I like better than Squee, though. But Squee, I need to read again. I feel like I wasn't as impressed. So, I just didn't get as into it. But it's really good stuff. No, I mentioned Millar earlier. Superman Red Sun. Really fascinating. And really well written. Alternate look at Superman. I really recommend it. We mentioned Telltale earlier. Here's the other thing that made them famous. No, it's not upside down. It's The Walking Dead. Compendium 1. Do I have the other compendiums? Nope. Thank goodness, I think my arms would have fallen off holding it. Here we have Watchmen, the original Watchmen, with the blood on the cover and everything. Another comic I want to read again, because I feel like I didn't get into it as much as everyone else does. I hear the show on HBO was actually decently entertaining. Oh, I skipped one because I didn't have it alphabetized. But, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Original, Ultra Compendium, whatever, Volume 1. I'm going to shut the camera off for a little break, but next we're going to do my single issue stuff. Alright, and welcome back from the jump cut. So we're going to go and just talk about my single issues. Some of these are even in bags, so that's what that sound was. A single issue for Zim. A single issue for Zim. And a single issue for Zim. I normally don't like collecting single issues. As you could probably tell, I prefer volume sets. But those are all Oni Press stuff. Wait, no, not. Sorry, Oni Press made all of them, but you know, some of these are they're variant issues, like to the point where I even got one that's exclusive to Newberry, because that's where I bought all of these. Well, yeah, those are just the variant covers, and you know, if I was going to collect any of them, it would be the variant covers. And now just for something, those were a single issue, but slightly different here. is the Powerpuff Girls. These aren't. I think that's why. Wait, why am I showing you the back? Just the back is always an ad. But yeah, I don't think these are re-releases of the classic. I think that before the TV reboot, there was also a comic reboot, if I remember correctly. But there's also some old ones that did get reissues as Powerpuff Girls Classic. I believe I'm doing that right. And all I got was that one, which again, I believe that's a Newberry exclusive, because well, yeah. This weird dumb face here, that's Newberry. Now, brace yourself for some of the issue covers on this, I guess, because they're more Mad magazines, so you know. Steroid injections. This is from 2012, and there was like a doping scandal or something in 2012 for triathlons, hence why. 50 Worst Things About Facebook. I don't remember which year this was, but it was the year of the Spider-Man musical. Look, Kanye West was trending, just like he always does. This is the 20 Dumbest for 2014. I feel like some people just feel that way about the sports leagues in general. and I mean massive sports fans. People who aren't sports fans, sometimes we get riled up over something. Most of the times we're like, whatever. I've never seen people angry about sports than sports fans, and I get it. Like, you got a right to be angry about things you love if it's not going right. I get it. So the 20th Dumbest Things about 2010. So these aren't in order, or what? Harry Potter and the Harry Potters. So this was 2015. Yeah. I mean, are you surprised that the 2015 Mad Magazine, that's the cover? 2021 is a different year, isn't it? Alright, we got Mad Magazine shits on the iPad. That's what it says. I'm not making that up. I'll just hide that other one. There we go. That looks much better. Alright, so now we're going to get into some indie stuff. This is local to me. This is Mr. Crypt and Baron Rat. Sorry, The Adventures of Mr. Crypt and Baron Rat. This is like their third thing together. I've never read the others, and thankfully I don't need to. They're very loose, although some stuff seems to reference past stuff, but not in a way that I'm confused, in a way that I understand. That glare is terrible, isn't it? I'm sorry. Natural lighting in 4K. So here's a nice one. This is the Forgotten Village. This is a one-off spin-off of, there's no spoilers here. It's just the moon. Of this local comic, web comic too. Oh god, that looks terrible thanks to the plastic. But I'm not taking it out. I actually like how pristine this is. Oh, come on. There. Now it looks just as ugly. Aren't you glad you tuned into this? Run by a couple, and like me, they're indie artists. I'm not an artist. I'm a writer, but artist means so many things these days. I'm a local and indie creator using Patreon to help pay the bills and help get stuff forward. I will probably even link their Patreon, because I had quite a good time reading that. Now, here is probably the crowning jewel of my collection. Not just for single issue stuff, but for all of it, because technically this is also a volume set. Yeah! Look at that. This was $15. I was afraid it actually said 150 and I wouldn't notice until after, but it was just 15. This is the original run. Look, you even get the backs with buy the X-Men action figures. This is the entire volume set for one of the Fool Killers. If you don't know who Fool Killer is, he's one of the most obscure Marvel characters ever. It doesn't help that it's a legacy characters. It's like if the Punisher was... The methods were a lot goofier. I mean, he uses a melty ray gun. But it was kind of taken just as seriously. And it's genuinely good read with some very nice social commentary stuff. I really recommend it if you can find it. I was lucky to find it. Support local comic book stores because you find really good stuff like this for like almost nothing. $15 is nothing for. I mean, how good these are in. I mean, I didn't even make this bag or anything or buy this bag. They came in this bag. They cared that much before they sold it to me to make it pristine. Support your local comic book stores.